Well, I'm back again. I didn't want to give you too long a video to watch and perhaps bore you. But I think I was raised in a more responsible generation. I don't believe in promises that simply go against common sense. The promise that everybody is going to have a nice big home and a backyard with a swimming pool. Everybody doesn't need a big home and a backyard with a swimming pool. Not everyone is happy with the same thing. Some folks want to live up in the mountains like hermits. Me, I could be happy in a room with a chair. Yeah, that's all I would need. I've written something about that. It's called One Chair in a Room. How happy I could be. Just give me a book. And when I finish that book, give me another book. I used to be able to sit and read all day long. You can pull in the wisdom from all over the world. Why do we need to buy a skateboard and a scooter and skis and everything for our children when they're 10 years old? We don't teach them to sit and read. They need TV, they need a computer. They don't get the enjoyment of simply sitting in silence and reading and being perfectly happy. I was happy for hours at a time. I was happy sitting in a chair in a room. You could take all the furniture out of the room. They didn't have computers in those days, but you could take everything out of this room here, give me a chair and a book, and I can be content. That's how to enjoy life. We don't need everything that we have. And that's one of the reasons that we get in trouble. We have families that buy a home, the payment is stiff, hard to make. But look in their garages. Drive down the street and look up the driveways. And there's a garage so full of everything under the sun. Badminton sets where they never play badminton. Golf clubs where they hardly go play in golf. Skis hanging up on the wall. Kids' skateboards. Not one skateboard, but 2 or 3 with different designs. Surfboards, shortboards, longboards. Maybe I'm bored. No, I've never been bored. But I'll tell you, there's everything in the garage, and that's the reason they're missing house payments. That's one of the reasons for the shortages today. The credit card companies tell them, hey, buy it. But then the credit card companies want their money too. So all of a sudden you have house payments and you got 3 or 4 credit cards. And you've got someone calling you in the evening, in the middle of dinner. This is Discover Card. This is Visa. This is Bank of America. This is Citibank. They've got to be paid back. And then if you don't, they put it in collection. And if their collectors can't collect it, then they bundle them up. And this is one of the reasons we're having the problems today. A lot of those accounts get bundled up. Visa, or rather Citibank and Bank of America, take write-offs. Then they bundle like $1 million worth of bad debt. And one of them could be you or me. And they hand it to a collector. Now, this collector doesn't know who you are and he doesn't care. He may only pay 2 cents on the dollar for your account. But he's zealous to get the full amount out of you. Is it $6,000? He's going to keep after you forever. He'll get a judgment against you and go after you. So you borrowed money against your house to pay off Visa cards, MasterCards, Discover, American Express. You borrowed money against your house, and now your payments changed. You know, you just kept digging that hole. Or, if you didn't, many Americans did. Deeper and deeper. Until they couldn't handle it anymore. That's part of the reason we have this big financial crisis. Selling you on the idea that debt is good. Buy a big home. The government is going to guarantee payment. They guaranteed the payment to the bank if you defaulted. But you were the one who sat and cried when the collectors kept calling. Your wife was the one that cried. Your children heard you crying. And then when the eviction notice got on the door, oh boy. That's what they sold to you when they started the programs Freddie Mae and Fannie Mac and Acorn, and then they blame it all on whichever administration is in at the time. It wasn't the current administration, by the way. The problems started with a Democratic Congress that insisted on passing laws supposedly to benefit the poor. But now the poor are paying the price. There's always a time that comes around when you have to pay the piper.